we ready? Can we do this? Can everyone hear me? I am speaking, but nobody is saying anything back, so hopefully everything is all good.
Well, Paxi, I do hear you on your feed, but not in Discord, if that's something that we'd like to fix.
All right. Sorry about that. I forgot to unmute myself in Discord. We're okay now, though, I think, right? Right? Oh, goodness. I have myself up on my TV, and there I am. This is going to be an interesting night, let me tell you. Well, let's get this show on the road. Hello, everybody. I am Paxi, a.k.a. AKAtheCupcakes. I am here to bake cookies for you. And unless something's changed, I'm going to be doing the TGH first.
Yes. So, as we mentioned, you have given us a variety of, let me count that again, 6 different choices to make. You'll be doing the top 2, but the first one, well ahead of the rest of the pack, is the TGH, which is cheesecake with M&Ms. That raised a total of $91.69. Thank you all so much for donating to Gate.
Yes, so most of these cookie flavors were chosen by staff members for fast-paced events. Amber created theirs, Flame created theirs, Tej created theirs. The classic is just a regular chocolate chip cookie. I came up with Argix because I was trying to figure out something that would be nice and sour but still really good. So I'm like, why not lemon with white chocolate chips? And then the backup strat came about because nowhere had pumpkin spice pudding yet, even though many stores told me they did. The liars that they are. So
we're so close to Halloween season. How can they not have it yet?
I know, right? Now you're gonna see me looking down over here to the side because that's where my cookbook is. So I've had this cookbook since I was at least 15, as you can tell by the state of it. Like, it's gotten to the point where it just opens pretty much automatically to the right cookie thing. So it's not doing that right now because why would it? I'm live on the internet. Alright, so there's 3 chocolate chip cookie recipes in this book, and we're going with chocolate chip cookies number 1. But yeah, old book. I think it's on Amazon if you look for it. It's 1001 cookie recipes, the ultimate A to Z collection of bars, drops, crescents, snaps, squares, biscuits, and everything that crumbles. Oh my goodness, this is going to be something else. So, baking. People will tell you that baking is an exact science, and I'm going to tell you that those people have no imagination. Because I don't measure very accurately, so this is going to be very interesting. Alright, gotta move some stuff around so I can get to things. So first thing we're gonna need to do is get our dry ingredients together so we can add them into here where our wet ingredients will be later. We have my lovely, lovely fiance's sugar skull bowls to work with. I'm just putting
I want to say they
side.
are fantastic. I'm just enjoying the designs on those.
There's a set of 3, so there's a bigger one and then an even bigger one. We're not going to need the biggest one, so we're just going to go with the small one here. So we got my measuring cups, and in here I need to put 2 1/4 cups of all-purpose flour. So we got my 1 and we got my 1/4. Do not fall down on the internet. And we have our basic bag of all-purpose flour. Now, most of the time when you see people cooking, they will take 1 measuring cup and then use that to fill the other measuring cup. And then there will be swiping off to make sure everything's level. And I am here to tell you, that's fine. Maybe it's a little more dry than you want it to be. Maybe it's a little wetter than you want it to be. Overall, it's not going to kill things, so it's okay. You don't have to be perfect. Baking should be fun.
Taxi,
so
I gotta tell
let's have
you,
fun
you're giving
with
me
it.
so much
so
speaking confidence because I always had nervousness about like not getting it perfect.
Okay, so here's the thing. Let me tell you a story about little Paxi's childhood. When little Paxi was in 7th grade and she had to take home and careers, aka home economics, the teacher there was very, very strict about you have to measure things perfectly. You have to level it off. You cannot use liquid in a dry ingredients cup. That will not be correct. And I am here to tell you that if you put a cup like this fill it with water, and then dump that water into a 1 cup liquid measuring cup, you're gonna have the same amount of water. Have fun with baking. Okay, so to our 2 1/4 cups of flour we got here, we need some baking soda. And you know what? Everything's perfect because I do have my Pikachu measuring spoons that my beloved fiance got me. And for that, we need a teaspoon of baking soda. Note to self, get more baking soda. We are running low. Now, for baking soda, that is something that I'll scrape off because you don't want too much leavening in your cookies. And don't do what my brother did, rest his soul. He knew that if you put vinegar and baking soda together, it created a, chemical reaction. And if you put vinegar and baking soda together and then put that mixture into chocolate chip cookies, you are going to have the biggest, fluffiest, most beautiful, disgusting tasting chocolate chip cookies you have ever had in your life. Yeah, don't do that.
Don't put vinegar in your cookies. Learned.
Yeah. I mean, there might be some cookie recipes that call for vinegar. Chocolate chip cookies aren't one of them, so let's leave that one alone. All right.
Speaking of recipes, I just do want to shout out real quick. Amber has indeed put the recipe that you are using today in the chat if anyone would like to bake along or for the future, with the note that we are, of course, subbing the chocolate chips and the pudding mix.
Yeah, that is one of the things I love about this recipe. I learned early on that if you change the pudding flavor and the chocolate chip flavor, you basically get a whole different cookie. So that's why we're having the TGH, which is what he picked. So cheesecake pudding, this is a basic 1 ounce box of cheesecake pudding, and we're going to throw that right into our dry mix. Throw that in together right there. And then I've got some spatulas here. We're just going to give that just a little bit of a mix just to keep everything together. And the fun starts because stuff's going everywhere. All right, Zoku, I can't see the chat very well, so if anybody is saying anything interesting, please let me know.
Well, we do have a comment from someone saying, don't mix baking soda and baking powder. Have you had any experience with
they've I'm seeing that they have adjusted that to don't mix it up. That is correct.
Don't mix up. That's true.
Baking soda and baking powder are 2 completely different things. You'll usually see them used together in some stuff, but I'm going to be honest, I do not know what the difference is, but I know that you cannot interchange them. If it calls for baking soda, you use baking soda. If it calls for baking powder, you use baking powder.
This is very informative as someone who usually uses mixes to bake for the safety.
And that's fine. You can make so many good things with a good mix. Like, you can take a lemon box cake mix and turn it into cookies. You can do that with any box cakes mix, to be honest. You just add a little bit more oil, and I think it's either a little more oil or a little less oil. I don't remember off the top of my head. All right, so things are going to get loud because my trusty stand mixer is about to be used. So we need to cream the butter. Now, just so everybody knows, the original recipe for this does call for vegetable shortening instead of butter. So if you're vegan or just don't like butter, you can use shortening or you can use margarine. So we need a cup of that. So if there's any questions about baking at all, please throw them in the chat. I'm not an expert, but I'll tell you what I know. If there's any questions about anything, throw it in the chat. I'm not an expert on anything, but I'll tell you what I know.
Well, I do have a question for you based off what some comments in chat are saying. How are you so cool?
I don't know. I think they're all lying.
I mean, you've got a Sonic headband on. I shout out to your little Sonic figure holding the Sonic strawberry shake pudding mix.
That was my
which
fiance's
I want to
idea.
shout out in particular because that is one of our options for the second cookie we will make today. Right now, the Amber, which is in the lead for our second cookie. We're only going to make one more of these cookies, chat. Is strawberry with cream cheese chips. And that's sitting at $71, but the flame is right behind at $70. That's Oreos with peanut butter M&Ms. So again, a $2 donation could tip that over, or you could send the Argic, the Classic, or the backup strat into the lead. The backup strat, chat, I'm just gonna put a little finger on the scales here. The backup strat is the one that sounds the most interesting to me because Paxi, you described it as like Mexican hot chocolates, chocolate shake with cinnamon chips, and that sounds amazing.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking when I bought the ingredients, because originally, instead of the backup strat, there was supposed to be the Paxi, which would be the pumpkin spice pudding with cinnamon chocolate chips. I make those for Thanksgiving, and people love them. It's like a little pumpkin pie cookie, but nobody has pumpkin spice pudding right now, even though some local stores said on their website that they did, and then they didn't. It happens. That's why know your backups, kids. And this is our backup strat. All right, so things are going to get a little bit loud because I'm about to use my stand mixer, because we need to add a 1/4 cup of granulated sugar and then 3/4 cup of brown sugar into this bowl with our butter in order to cream it all together. So dump that one in. Yeah, everybody, whatever Nova says about my apartment, they would know because they have actually been here in real life. Okay, and then, did you guys know that some measuring cup sets have an actual 3/4 cup? This is a 3/4 cup, so I don't have to take a 1/4 cup and dump it in 3 times. I can just go like this.
Oh, that's so convenient.
Yeah. My fiance, love her so much. She's not here right now, but she wanted those for Christmas one year, and I'd never heard of it. And then her mom got us one. I'm like, well, this is the most convenient thing in the world. All right.
Shout outs to useful Christmas gifts.
Right? Love my mother-in-law. She gets us such great cooking stuff. All right, this is gonna get a little loud because we gotta mix this together. We got it down on low because we don't want stuff going everywhere. That would be bad. I'm going to turn it up a little bit more to make things go a little bit faster. It's being nice and quiet right now. Usually it's like, I don't know what's changed today, but okay, I'll take it. The rest of today has been a thing, so if this baking stream goes great, I'll be happy. All right.
Today it's in polite company.
Yes. All right, so you might be able to see here my mixing blade does have scrapers on the side, which does help me scrape down the bowl. I'm still going to use a spatula just to get that extra off of there. So when I start adding my dry ingredients, everything gets mixed together well. So I'm just digging down in there and getting all the butter up and getting all the sugar up. And I'm going to wait until there's actual flavor in here before I start eating raw cookie dough. Oh, something salmonella, don't do it. Be an adult. Whatever that means to you, that's what you do.
To me, the most adult thing would be if you would like to indulge Felstar Nova in doing that mixer impression again, because they were walking a turtle.
That's basically it. No, I think I adjusted it after I adjusted it after the last time I did cooking, so it's not as bad right now. All right, so we've got our sugars and our butters in, and they're creamed together. So now we got to add our eggs, and we got to add our vanilla. Also, I'm going to add something for me. Hydrate.
Absolutely, hydration check, chat.
No, I got a bunch of stickers on my giant jug here. Okay, so we got to add in our eggs and our vanilla. I am infamous for not measuring vanilla. That looks good. We're fine. Okay. So we're going to get this going again. And while our vanilla is mixing into everything, are you okay, Zoku? You going to make it?
What you said you were infamous for not measuring your vanilla. I still was not prepared.
If you ever go to
really hydrated that dough with some vanilla.
Vanilla adds flavor. But anyway, so I'm cracking some eggs now because we're going to add our eggs into the mixer one at a time just to make sure they all get incorporated in before adding the other one. So the first egg is in, it's going. Going to turn this up a little bit. Yes, Amber Cyprin, measure with your heart. Also, Nova said that too. I mean, you could try to measure with your herd, so if you hear something, if you measure and it just sounds right, that works too. All right.
Yeah, you need the right splush of vanilla in there.
You do.
I did actually have a couple of questions earlier involving Sonic, since we have a lot of Sonic around.
Lay it on me.
So Ori Sky wanted to know if this was a Sonic branded sugar and strawberry shake. Is it for the Sonic reference? That is my question, actually. or is it just because there's a flavor preference there?
So here's the thing. When I first started getting this whole idea together, after Flame was like, yeah, Paxi, you can do a baking stream for the thing. That sounds great. I just went onto a random shopping website and picked out a bunch of flavors that were available on that website, with the caveat that they might not be available, and I would try and go with a backup. And one of the ones I found was Sonic Strawberry Shake. So it's partially for the Sonic reference, but it's also because Amber thought it sounded really good.
It was meant to be.
It was indeed. All right, so you can't see it, but we've got our wet mixture all here. We're going to have this on low, and stuff is still going to go everywhere, because that's just how cooking is. So we're going to, like, very slowly add our dry ingredients in here. Okay. My iPad is right next to my mixer, and I'd like it to keep working for a few more years, so I'm trying not to get it covered in flour and baking soda and cheesecake pudding mix. So we're just adding
Today
everything.
on Hot Baking Tips with Paxi.
Indeed. So just moving everything really slowly. Gonna let that mix in a little bit. Double check my recipe to make sure I haven't forgotten anything. Because you know what? I've been baking since I was probably 5 or 6 years old, and I'm 38 now, so I still forget stuff, and that's okay. That's why you keep the recipe nearby. All right. Yep, we're going good, so we're going to add in more flour. I haven't forgotten anything yet. We're going to add more of the flour, pudding, and baking soda mixture.
And of course, speaking of not forgetting things, I'd just like to remind everyone that you can still donate for that second cookie flavor. There's a handy link in the bottom, in the panels, underneath the stream. One of our lovely mods can certainly put that link in chat. But
How
again,
are we doing on that right now,
the
by
Amber
the
and the
way?
Flame are really, really close. And if you want to see Oreo with, I believe, peanut butter M&Ms, please correct me if I'm wrong, you can just tip that over. You can tip the Flame over into the lead. Or you can put the Amber further into the lead, the Argic, the Classic, the Backup Strat. All of those are available to you. And you can also help us round out the rest of that Buck Up and Drive target, where we will play as the Van Diesel. I've just seen a picture of this. Oh my gosh. You're not going to want to miss that. And
I don't think I had the same reaction that everybody else did to the Van Diesel, but it's certainly somebody made some decisions there, and I'm not sure if they're good ones.
Well, I think chat needs to make the decision to
Chat
see
does
this
need
for
to make the
themselves, and I
decision.
sure hope they do.
All right, so we've got, we're just doing a quick scrape on everything, and we're going to give it a little bit more of a run through just to make sure, like, all the butter is incorporated, all of the dry ingredients are incorporated. It is looking pretty darn good right now. So, Zoku, if you got to choose what cookie I did next, what would you want me to do?
Oh, okay. Out of the options you've selected, you've offered us, I've already said I am a tremendous fan of the idea of the chocolate shake with cinnamon chips, but in the interest of something doable, the Oreo with M&M's sounds really interesting to me as well. I'm a big fan of cookies and cream flavored things, so Oreo, you know, Flame's got my heart there.
We do have peanut butter M&Ms, and also these are mini peanut butter M&Ms because that was the bag I grabbed. So, and this entire thing will be going into the mix because what am I going to do with a bunch of leftover mini M&Ms? I'll tell you what I'm going to do with them. I will eat them, and I'm not supposed to.
Oh, Chad, we can't have that. We need Paxi to make them so she can eat them.
Also, I've got like 5 or 6 drinks scattered around my dining room because that's just how I am. So, if you see me with a completely different drink from before, that's why. Okay. We're going to give this another little mix here. Chat, how you doing? What's new? What's hip? What's happening?
So I have a question for you, speaking of flavors. Direct Sharma asked us earlier, and I did not want to let it pass by without comment. Wouldn't Sonic cookies be hot dog and chili flavored?
Don't think I didn't consider it. Here's the thing. I probably could have found on eBay or something that weird chili dog flavor mix that I think G Fuel put out a while ago. It crossed my mind. And then I decided, no, me and mine have to eat these cookies, and I don't want to do that to them. So that didn't happen. Which, real quick, hi Infinite, how you doing? if you just happen to have one of these, let me bring it closer so y'all can see it. If you happen to have one of these, you can put this into your cookie recipe in place of the instant pudding. It works just as well. If I remember correctly, it was about a quarter cup of that instead of the instant pudding mix. So give it a try sometime if you have some lying around. Yeah, I have a ton of it behind me.
Shout out to TGH while I'm at it.
Yeah, I have a ton of that behind me, and I use it mostly for baking because it tastes really good. All right, so we've got our cheesecake cookie base here. All is good. It's all ready. I'm going to move a couple things out of the way because at some point I am going to need to get out my cookie sheets that are over here off camera and put cookies onto them. One second, gonna throw stuff in the garbage, which is also off camera. Okie dokie. So, the original recipe calls for a cup and a half of chocolate chips and then a cup of walnuts. I don't like walnuts in my cookies. If you like walnuts in your cookies, that's fine. You put walnuts in your cookies, just I won't eat them. But that means more for you. Remember, if somebody doesn't like something that you like, that's not a bad thing. It just means there's more of that thing for you. People who like pineapple on pizza, I mean this to you. I don't like pineapple on pizza. I have tried it and it was not my thing. So you can eat all of the pineapple on pizza that I don't eat, and it'll be great.
I'm feeling very called out here.
I'm not trying to call anybody out. I'm just saying, if somebody doesn't like something that you do, okay, moving on.
Oh, absolutely. We'll go halvesies, and the other half can be whatever you want.
Okay, these are good M&Ms. We're all good. So we're going to dump this entire thing in here. Now, most people will say that you should hand mix this, which I'm not going to say you shouldn't. I'm going to say that I have tendinitis in my wrist, so I'm not doing that. We're just going to put it on low and let it all go in.
Also good.
Yeah. Okay. I have got stuff all over my iPad. That's okay. Move it down here for a second because I don't need the recipe again for a little bit. All right, so. Oh, it's like mortar or something. That stuff is very, very thick, which is a good thing. All right. Now, let's take a moment to talk about cookie size, shall we? This recipe in the book, the recipe says you should get 6 to 7 dozen cookies. You know how big those cookies are going to be? Half a bite. So take every yield estimate with a grain of salt, because it really just depends on how big you want your cookies and how much batter that you eat between point A and point B. Look, that's actually a thing. My brother used to eat a lot of cookie batter, and then there were next to no cookies, and he couldn't figure out why. All right, gonna move this over
That's amazing.
All right, I gotta move the Sonic and the Knuckles and the Tails for a moment because they are on top of one of my favorite tools I have in my kitchen for cookies, a cookie scoop. All right, so we got our baking sheet. I realized earlier that I am out of spray stuff for cookie sheets, so we're gonna come over here. We're gonna get another one of my favorite tools, pre-cut sheets of parchment paper. So if you like kind of a buttery taste on the bottom of your cookies, I suggest using either like a butter flavored Crisco, or if you want to go crazy, butter your cookie sheets with butter. Whatever. I'm not going to tell you what to do. I'm going to suggest maybe not doing the butter one because that might make it a little too buttery. So what we're going to do is we're just going to reach in here, and this is about the size of cookie I want, and just plop it right here on our sheet. So I'm not tipping it down too far because we don't want the cookie to go anywhere. So this is going to take a little bit. This is going to take a little bit. So Zoku, if you got anything to say, chat. If you want anything, go for it.
Oh, absolutely. Again, we are here raising money for GATE. This is fast-paced events not annual summer event, but you know what? We love charity and fundraising so much that we couldn't let this summer go by without a little thing for y'all. So that's why we're here with FastPace for Friendspace. And if you haven't heard about GATE, GATE is a unique organization led by trans, gender diverse, and intersex staff and board members from all regions of the world. They are the only international organization focused on issues relating to gender identity, gender expression, and sex characteristics. They were originally founded as a trans network to coordinate, facilitate, and advocate for a united trans movement globally. And they work with international decision-making and funding mechanisms, including WHO, the World Health Organization, UNAIDS, the United Nations. My brain is full of cookies right now, and I do not remember the rest of that. I deeply apologize for that. And the Global Fund, as well as
I take responsibility for that. That's totally my fault.
You know what? I'll take the blame for that because you are making delicious, delicious cookies, Paxi. And they also engaged with the United Nations Human Rights Council to bring awareness of and engagement with transgender, diverse, and intersex issues at the global level. So this is such an important cause that we are fundraising for. And in addition to helping this, you can help decide what cookies we're baking next, because how fast do these cookies bake, Paxi?
Well, we're definitely going to have at least 2 sheets. I've got 3, 6, 9, 12 on a sheet. They cook for about 10 to 11 minutes each, so I could honestly, I'm about to put this first one into the oven right now, so once I get all of these cookies onto a sheet, we could get started on the next one. So I'm going to go put these in the oven.
You don't have much time left.
We do not, so I'm going to keep moving and go over to my kitchen, which is over there. Feel free to gaze upon the decor, and I'll be right back.
All right, and chat, while you are gazing upon the decor, I would like to remind you also that we do have a Target open, as mentioned, that Van Diesel incentive for Buck Up and Drive, which is coming up right after this. We thank you all so much for your generous donations so far today. We've raised $953 so far. Wow, this is just a one-day event. But we could go even higher. Let's get that donation goal pushed and moved further. Maybe see a meme car? And Amber's pointing out that they are still winning by $1 for second place. This is true. Just a $2 donation could tip it over to the flame, which again is Oreo with M&Ms.
And just so everybody knows, all of the stuff for the rest of the cookies are here on the baking desk. So it's not going to be hard for me to reach behind me and grab what I need.
But you've only got, I believe, you said 10, 11 minutes, because that's how long they take to bake?
Yeah, the ones that are in the oven right now are on for 12 minutes, but I still got to fill the cookie sheets. There's still a little bit of dough left in here. I think I might get 2 dozen out of this one. So, chat, what you got? What do you want to hear?
Absolutely. Send in your donations, and also let me know what your favorite cookies are while you're at it, because so I told this story to Paxi and
yes,
I
tell
was
the story
behind the scenes.
Tell the story.
I told this story to them behind the scenes while we were tech checking for my I'm actually friends with someone who loves baking, and we met online, and the first time we met in person, she offered to bake me cookies. And I said, chocolate crinkle cookies. And while I'm telling the story, I hope you all are sending in your donations. I want to hear what your favorite cookies are by the end of the story. But she offered to bake me cookies the first time we met, and this was around Christmas time, so I said, yeah, I want chocolate crinkle cookies, because those were all over food blogs at the time, and they look beautiful. If you've never seen chocolate crinkle cookies, they're like basically chocolate brownies as cookies, but like with little cracks on top, and then they get covered in powdered sugar, so it just looks gorgeous. It looks like snow covered. And she was like, I've never made them before, but for you, I'll try. We meet up, and about an hour into and then about an hour into the karaoke, she pulls out a little Tupperware box with the cookies, all like individually wrapped in, not individually wrapped, but like packaged in little cupcake wrappers, like if when you pull them out of a Pepperidge Farm bag, except these are homemade with love and care. And I eat one. It's chocolatey. And then I don't touch them for the next hour. She asks, what's wrong? I made these for you. Chat, I don't like chocolate or sweets. She made them for me.
Okay, I'm gonna be on your side here for a moment. Like, you maybe shouldn't have said you wanted chocolate cookies if you don't like chocolate, but for her to expect you to eat more than one while you're singing karaoke seems a little unfair to me personally.
I mean, we were switching off back and forth. So this was my maid of honor story at her wedding, and I ended it with saying we learned 2 very important lessons that day. I learned that she's a lovely, kind, forgiving, wonderful person. She learned to never to offer to bake me cookies ever again. But, on the other hand, we've got Paxi here baking cookies for you, chat. I mean, you don't get to eat them. I don't get to eat them. I tried. I asked Flame.
Somebody in chat gets to eat them.
I could get some cookies, or at least a smell of cookies teleported here. But Paxi will be baking cookies based off your choice. So you can do what I did, but better.
Okay, so what we're about to do now is I've got my second pan of cookies all ready. There is nothing else left in the bowl. But I'm gonna need to go grab my other bowl and a couple other things. And my cat's over here looking at me like, Mom, why aren't you throwing my toy for me? So I gotta throw the toy. And if I do it right, you guys might be able to see him haul down the hallway. So let me try this.
Cats.
Beastie. Come on. The toy. All right, ready? I don't think you can see him, but know that he went. So I'm gonna put these over in the other part of my kitchen so they're out of my way. I'm gonna take this with me because I do need to get my other bowl and everything. So you guys, if you want something besides the amber, you gotta get going right now.
Ooh, time is ticking on that.
Tick, tick, yo.
And as I've been reminding, when you make a donation, it can go to both a poll and a target. That's the great thing about Tiltify. So you can help put money towards both a cookie choice and the Van Diesel incentive at the same time. That Van Diesel incentive is under $8 away from being met. Wow, thank you all so much. Let's go see what donation came towards to help us with that. I'm very good at this. As you can tell, we did get a $5 donation from TGH. Shoutouts to that Madrinos can in the back. Saying $5 train to $1,000. We are, in fact, incredibly close to $1,000. $5 train to $1,000. Let's get it done, folks. Choo choo indeed. That did go towards the egg option for golf with your friends, which is coming up at the end of the night. I mean, TGH is all set. He's got his cookies in order. And we also did have another donation from Darak Sharna, who said that their favorite cookie is chocolate no-bake, less than 3.
Oh, the chocolate no-bake with the peanut butter. Yum.
I actually do have an additional question from Darak Sharna for you.
Mm-hmm.
How do you identify when a cookie is done baking? They say they're a terrible judge because they're deliciously soft and gooey when warm, so they always slightly overbake them.
So here's the thing. When you take a tray of cookies out of the oven, they're still hot. So even if you think they aren't quite done yet, take them out. Because you leave them on the pan to cool for like maybe 5 minutes, they're gonna keep cooking. These ones would definitely be hard because they always kind of seem like they're not completely done in the middle, but trust me, it's intentional. But yeah, if you look in your oven and you think, I don't think these are done, maybe 5 minutes more, maybe do 2 minutes more and then take them out and just let them sit on top of your stove to finish cooking. Where is my other thing? There it is. I found it. We're fine. Thank you, white man. So this is another one of my paddles. It's just got the one scraper on the side, but that's okay because somewhere around here I do have another spatula. Okay, whoever's in charge of it, close that poll because I'm about to start a new cookie.
Absolutely. Let me go ahead and get that taken care of for you.
On the outside, I can start putting, the dry ingredients are all the same except for the pudding, so I can just start getting things together. Okay. on a second. I gotta get my official canister of flour because the bag of flour I was using is empty. Okie dokie. So once again, we've got 2 1/4 cups of flour. Again, I don't level it off. I kind of give it a little wiggle and the extra shakes off and I call it a day. So scoop it, give it a little wiggle, the extra falls off, boom, we're done. If you like doing the scoop in and then level off, that's fine too. Baking is supposed to be fun. It's science for hungry people, yes, but it should be fun. And if abiding by all those level it off, make it perfect rules are making it not fun for you, stop doing them. This has been your PSA from Auntie Paxi today.
That is a lesson I am definitely taking to heart.
Okay, where am I? Teaspoon baking soda. All right, have we closed it? What am I making next?
We have closed it, and oh my gosh, just in time, because would you like me to do the big roll up, or do you really need the time to get that mixed in?
Oh, no, just whatever. I do not need
right.
a lot of time. I'm almost done here.
Well, you all raised, oh my gosh, I just want to make sure I have this number correct, but you all raised $270.99 with this incentive, with all the different options we have. That was amazing. Now, we had the Amber in second at $71, and with last minute snipes, Fellstar Nova came in with $1 to say, here to cause chaos and make the second choice harder. But they love a soft, sweet molasses cookie, and that $1 did go towards the flame, tying it up. But Final Flame donated with $2.30 to put the flame in the lead, and so you are making the flame. That's the Oreo with M&M's, raising $73.30. Thank you all so much for donating to Kate.
Nova, we're going to talk about this later, just so you know. No, that's hilarious. That's great. All right, so the flame, which he picked out his flavors. He wanted Oreo cookies and cream pudding and peanut butter M&Ms. Well, originally he just said M&Ms. I'm like, well, do you want a specific flavor? And he said, well, if you could do peanut butter, that'd be great. And one of my favorite things to do at Dairy Queen is to get an Oreo Blizzard with peanut butter, Reese's peanut butter cups in there. So why not? We can do that. All right, so this is a little bit bigger than the normal size. This is like 4.5 ounces, but it's not going to throw off anything too much. If absolutely necessary, I could throw in a little bit of milk if I think it's too dry, but we'll see how we get. We'll see how we do. Hi, Bandit. Did you bring me a toy to throw? I don't see it. Do you want to come be on camera real quick? Come here.
Ooh.
Come here. Hold on. I'll be right back. Hi. No, come here. Bandit.
Chat, what a treat. We got cookies and maybe cat on stream.
I got him. We're coming. Hello, Internet. My name is Bandit. What's going on? Hi.
Hello, Bandit.
Hello. Yo soy Bendito. Would you like to hear my song?
Yes, please.
Okay, here we go. Yo soy Bendito. Muy necesito. Me llamo Tocino. Y mi mamás. That's my song. Hello. Oh, Mom's gotta go. The thing's beeping. Ah!
Bandit is precious, and thank you so much for your song, Bandit. And while those cookies are being gone, we've raised, thanks to those additional snipes, thank you so much for making that tense. We've raised $966.99 for Gates so far today. I love those numbers.
Those are great numbers. Okay, here. I see your ball over here. Hold on. This is the red sparkle ball. He will bring this back to me if I don't throw it. If I throw it for him. I don't know where he went, but there you go, buddy. Yeet. He's got it.
And Paxi, when you get a chance, could you remind us of the names of your cats? We've got Bandit, Pepper, and...
The third cat is named Ziggy, short for Ziggy Stardust.
Ooh.
Yeah, for those wondering, Bandit's song is Spanish, and roughly translated it means, my name is Bandit, I'm very necessary, I love my mom... Oh wait, I love bacon and my mom's. When we first brought Bandit home, we had burgers that night, and I dropped a piece of bacon, and he inhaled it, and that's just been his personality ever since. Love him to death, but my goodness.
Honestly, that's a valid reaction to bacon.
Right? Bacon's great.
Unless you don't like it, in which case that's also totally valid.
That is
that's
also
the theme of today.
Yeah. You not liking something is valid, and just don't be a jerk about it. Don't be a jerk about your dislike. Okay, so we're creaming our butter again. Chat, what's going on? Meme poll.
Chat
Oh,
is
snap.
enamored.
Oh, goodness.
Was enamored by Bandit. But yes, we are going to have a poll. So I hope
see
chat
that.
is excited for that. And I did see that there was a counter snipe prepared for for the cookie flavor, but we are getting another poll.
Okay.
If you like, for donations, by the way. If you'd like to say which of Paxi's cats are the best, it's the best cat. That's Bandit, that's Pepper, that's Ziggy. Feel free to make a donation and let us know. And while we're at it, oh my gosh, I'm a little behind the times because I forgot to note that we are literally 1 cent from meeting the buck up and drive incentive. We are at $399.99. That's amazing.
That is indeed amazing. Good job, guys. All right. Chat, anything else you want to know about me? I can tell you more funny Bandit stories if you want. I can tell funny stories in general. Just give me something to talk about.
So, I'm just sort of curious, where did Pepper's name come from now? Because you've talked about Ziggy, you've talked about Bandit, what about Pepper? Let's give chat a little reason to vote for Pepper in that poll.
Okay, so back in 2014, I had just moved to the current city that I live in. For those who don't know, I live in Wisconsin somewhere. And it was my birthday, and I decided the one thing I wanted to get myself for my birthday was a cat, because I moved to Wisconsin in 2011 for college. My cat Memphis had to stay in New York because the college wouldn't let me have her on campus. And I just really wanted a cat. It was like I was just living alone in a tiny studio apartment and I needed somebody. So I take a bus all the way out to the Humane Society, and there's all these cute cats there. There was one cat there named Pumpkin Spice who was not having a good day, and wherever she is, I hope she's calmed down. There were other cats that were just like super, they seemed super friendly, but they didn't want to play, they didn't really want to interact with me, and I was getting ready to go home without a cat. 1 second, we're gonna start creaming stuff. Mm-hmm. So I'm ready to go home without a cat when it's pointed out to me that there is another little area of cats, but they're in cages because some of them are recovering from their spay or neuter operation. Hi, Bandit. I'm not throwing that ball right now. I'm in the middle of something. If you guys could see him, he's like right there off camera, like, Mom, come on. It's time. Okay. Can you guys see this moving?
It is shaking, yes.
Yeah, that thing can be powerful when it wants to. But back to Pepper. So Pepper was in one of these cages in the room off to the side, and one of the people that worked there was like, "Do you want to see her?" I'm like, "Yeah, okay." Her name was Marnie at the time, which I have a deep dislike of, and I can't tell you why. I'm sure people with Marnie are great people. I just don't like that name. Maybe that I just didn't like it for Pepper. But so she gets Pepper out of the cage and hands her to me. And she just like melted in my arms, just flopped. And I'm like, okay, yeah, you're coming home with me. Now, as for how she got the name Pepper, this was before my fiance Kit and I were dating, but we were very good friends. She already lived up in this city, and being that I didn't have a car, she was the one who took me a lot of places because she remembered being that person who had a car and needed to rely on people to take them places. So basically every weekend we would hang out. Side note, we didn't realize we were dating for probably about 3 years. Anyway.
It worked out in the end.
It did work out in the end. We're getting married next November.
Congratulations.
Thank you. All right, so I am holding, at the time, Marnie in my arms when Kit finds me, and I'm like, isn't she great? I don't know what to name her. And Kit just leaned in and, remembering my love of Marvel movies and especially of Iron Man, said Pepper. And that was it. That was just it. That was her name. She actually, her full name, which only gets used when she's in a lot of trouble, is Princess Pepper Potts Stark Rogers Wilson. So if you know all of the superheroes I just named, good job.
That is an involved name. I do also have to say that we have met a Buck Up and Drive incentive. We will be seeing Van Diesel.
I'm so sorry, but at the same time, congratulations. All right, so I'm getting my eggs into my creamed mixture. Things just exploded. We're fine. Eggs do that every now and then. So I'm just going to take a quick moment to double check and make sure that no shell got in there, which I'm not seeing any, so we're okay. And we're going to let this go again. Oh, what other stories can I tell you guys about cats or whatever?
Well, I do have to let you know that...
Speaking of my beloved, she is in the chat. My beloved is in the chat. Hi, beloved, I love you.
I do have to let you know that you won over the hearts for Bandit with that little song earlier because, as I mentioned, we did have a poll open up where chat could donate for which cat is the best cat, and Bandit is running away in the lead. We've gotten 2 donations for Bandit, one of them helping to meet that Buck Up and Drive goal. Again, thank you all so much for generously donating to Gate. And whenever you're ready, I can absolutely read that.
Okay, real quick, I'm going to let you read that, but once you're done reading that, I feel like we need to give Ziggy some more love, so read away, and then afterwards I'll tell you guys a story about Ziggy.
Ooh, okay, I'm looking forward to that. Well, first we had Aitsu100. They were all prepared to snipe the cookie flavor earlier and did not get to, unfortunately. Just unfortunate timing, but thank you so much for making that donation to Gate anyway and putting your money, your $10 donation in towards Bandit because, that was a lovely song, it's true. And then the Raksharna also came back with $1.01. Rounding our total up to that nice $978. No more cents for me to say anymore. And saying, Bandit gets my vote for that amazing song. So thank you both very much again for being here with us. And as we raise money for Gate, as we're enjoying cookies, and as we're enjoying stories about cats. Now, speaking of stories about cats, Ziggy's story, please.
Okay, so once again, this is a story before Kit and I moved in together. For those who don't know, I am originally from Western New York, and occasionally I had to go back to Western New York to visit family. The first year that I had Pepper was one of those years where I was going home to visit family because one of my cousins was getting married. And Kit graciously offered to have Pepper at her house, which, yay, lovely, perfect, works out great. Pepper goes to Katie's house and stays. I don't have to worry about finding somebody who can watch her, and then it being somebody I don't know. I will be happy. Pepper was not happy. Pepper was not happy at all. So Ziggy is a gray tuxedo cat, sweet boy. It took him like 7 years to realize that if he just came close enough, I would pet him. But still, sweet boy. So Pepper's there, and Ziggy just attaches to her. He just loves her so much. Pepper hates his guts. Like, Pepper, he gets anywhere near her, and Pepper is just like, does not let Ziggy near her if she doesn't have to. Okay, so
oh my heart is breaking for Ziggy.
Oh, hi. Speaking of which, hi, Ziggy. You okay? You're gonna go that way, huh? You heard me talking about him. All right. So, Pepper finally, I was gone for about a week. Pepper finally gets a little bit more settled down at Kit's house, and she's sleeping in one of the cat's beds. At the time, Bandit was not even thought of, so Kit had Ziggy and then Elwood, which Elwood is a whole nother story on his own. We miss him so much, the little guy. He wasn't little. No, I think Elwood was like 25 pounds when he passed, because he was just a big guy. We're not sure why, because he didn't really eat a lot. We think it was something else, but we don't know. We're not vets here. Anyway, Pepper's sleeping in one of the cat beds, and from what I was told, Ziggy comes over and sees her and is like, "Oh, it's a Pepper. I am going to touch it," and he taps her on the ear, and she like whips around like, "Who the heck just touched me?" And I wish I would have been there to see it, because I'm told it was the funniest thing ever. But Ziggy is an absolute sweetheart. He will come cuddle with me at times. I think I just heard my thing beep, so I gotta go look at that. But we are getting closer with this Oreo. Let me see if I can get a good scoop of it. Here is the Oreo cookie dough, y'all. It looks really good. So yeah, Ziggy's a beauty.
That looks amazing.
Yeah, I've never used the Oreo before, but like I said earlier, one of the reasons I love this recipe is that you just change the pudding flavor and you change the chocolate chip flavor or the candy flavor, and you have a whole different cookie.
And
like one of my favorites.
Oh, no, sorry. I was just going to say, if they want to bake along, we did have the recipe posted in chat. I'm sure someone would be happy to post that again. But please, go on, Taxi.
I forgot what I was going to say.
I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry. I have ADHD and autism. It's normal. Okay.
I think you were talking about this is one of your favorite recipes to make because it is so easy to swap out things.
It is very easy to swap out things. Like I have made for Christmas, I've made mint chocolate pudding with white chocolate chips. I haven't seen it in a while, but there used to be a red velvet pudding, so I do that with white chocolate chips. I've done butterscotch pudding with dark chocolate chips. Basically, you can put whatever you want for a pudding flavor and a chip flavor. And like I said earlier, the Madrinas that I have behind me, a quarter cup of that instead of the instant pudding, and you got cookies, and my thing's going. I'll be right back.
All right, chat. Well, once again, there is that link in chat if you would like to bake along or just have that there for the future, because this is a really handy recipe. You can see Paxy's baking it right here live on stream for you all. We don't get to eat it, but that's okay. You can just bake it for yourself and make it. And
Nova gets to eat it.
Nova gets to eat it. My apologies. Nova's the only one that gets to eat it. Nova and Kit. But you know what? I think deserves a treat. Donating to Gates. And of course, just being here with us here at Fast Pace for Friendspace, where we're raising money for Gates. So again, there's a handy donate link in the panels below the stream, or the donate link !donate in chat. We'll bring that link right up, and all of you all have raised $979.01. Oh my gosh, who made me say cents again? My goodness.
That's
Chat,
nonsense.
did you do this to me? That is in fact nonsense, and it was in fact Direct Sharda who understood the implications of what I had said. And we are now, thanks to a $1.01 donation, with the comment, "Oh shoot, you're right. Here, let me fix that for you." Well, thank you for fixing that for us, Direct Sharda, and thank you for continuing to vote Bandit as the best cat. And we are now at $979.01. But, chat, we've got like 11 minutes left in this showcase. Can we reach $1,000 before you finish baking the Oreo cookies?
I mean, the Oreo cookies aren't even in the oven yet, so maybe?
There's definitely time for that. We're just under, do I have to do math? We're just a little under $21 away from that. And as Direct has so kindly shown us, you can donate even $1.01 if you are able to. Every little bit helps for... Oh, those look wonderful! I love when the M&Ms get all melty and the color spreads.
Right? Alright, so this is the TGDI cheesecake cookie.
But yes, chaos is absolutely welcome. Please throw chaos in my donation total. I love this. Do they taste as delicious as they look?
Mm-hmm.
That's all we needed. Okay, we're good. Stream's cut. No, please don't cut stream. We're
still
not
cutting
more
stream yet. I've still got a cookie to put in. All right, Jay, great idea. Those were delicious. But we have more because we've got the Oreo cookie in there, and now we're gonna add in this entire bag of mini M&Ms. Save for like the one or two I'm about to eat.
Taste testing is a very important part of making any food stuff.
My God, guys, we're not eating. Let's all these. Can you guys see these?
Barely.
There you go. Hi, Beast. You cannot have M&Ms. Oh, hold on. Sparkle ball. Ready? Go. Good job, boyo. Does anybody want another bandit story?
Absolutely. Any cat stories are welcome, though. Again, Bandit is running away in the lead in that poll.
Hey, Pepper's gotten up there, too.
We did have more.
Yay.
Yes, we do have a donation in for Pepper, so...
Go for it.
Would you like? I believe this was probably influenced by that Ziggy story because that also endeared me to Pepper greatly. Idson100 donated $10, $10 for Pepper, and also helped make that number back to a nice palindromic $989.89. Saying Pepper is the best cat, and you know what? Hearing Pepper doesn't like to be touched and swiped at Ziggy, I can totally understand that. Ooh.
She does like being cuddled, just for some reason she does not like Ziggy, and we have not figured out why. Okay, so we're gonna go back into scooping now because it's all mixed. So,
also, absolutely great use of sound effect given that we just had the Zelda archipelago.
Thank you. Whoop, stay there. Don't fall on me. Gonna get this extra off here. All right, so quick Bandit story. Bandit we adopted during the pandemic because that's what everybody was doing during the pandemic, was adopting animals. The reason we adopted him was because our sweet boy Elwood passed away. He wasn't super old, but he always had health problems, and he passed away. And at first, both Kit and I were like, we're not going to get another cat. We have 2 cats. 2 cats is enough. And then we found out that both of us were looking at other cats at animal shelter websites independently of each other. Like, we were both working from home. She walks into my bedroom office, and I have the local animal shelter website up looking at all the cats. So we were like, okay, we both want another cat. Let's do it. So we looked around. We decided we wanted a kitten because we wanted a nice little young guy. And we ended up going to a humane society about 40 minutes away from us. I have no idea how far this place is from us, but that's where we ended up going because they had a ton of kittens at the time. It was like late April. Mm-hmm. No, I take that back. It was late June because we had just had it was the day of the Skulls and Cupcakes affiliate anniversary. It was the day we hit affiliate for streaming. We played a little bit of Batman Arkham Asylum, and then the 2 of us drove down to see the kittens. Originally, we were looking at this little orange kitten. I think his name was Cheeto. And as we were driving down, Cheeto got adopted, so we looked at some other ones. And then
I just love that name, Cheeto.
Yeah, I think there was a tuxedo cat named Oreo. You know, that's just a normal tuxedo cat name. But So, Oreo also was adopted by the time we got down there. So, as we're going down, we have a list of names we're thinking about, and if we hadn't thought of Bandit, his name probably would have been Tex Tubbs Taco Palace, because that's our favorite restaurant out here, and it's funny. But, so we're driving down, and we're like, okay, all these kittens that we were thinking about are gone. Let's see if there's any other ones. And we saw this one little gray guy named Booker. And we're like, oh, Booker's cute. And both of us like to read, so that'd be a good cat for us. Let's go. As we're in the car, I'm thinking it's going to be real funny if all of this list of names, we don't use any of them. We just call him like Bandit or something. You can see where this is going. So
I'm getting a hint. Yes.
So we get there and we say we want to see Booker.
I'm just going to interrupt you real quick. We've
Do
hit
it.
$1,000 raised.
Woo! Thank you all. That's amazing. Thank you so much, everybody who's donating and listening to me talk about cats while I bake.
This is just the coziest of streams, and I'm so glad you're having me on for this because it's been
I'm so
lovely
glad
too.
to have you. This has been so much fun.
But yes, Booker becoming bandit.
Yes, so Booker, the nice lady at the Humane Society is like, okay, yeah, we'll put you in a room and we'll bring Booker in. Just so you know, he's a very reserved guy, so he might not warm up to you right away. And we're like, okay, yeah, that tracks, whatever. Bandit comes in. Well, Booker comes in. And the lady sets him down. She's like, okay, I'm gonna let you guys have a little bit. And she goes out and he looks up at Kit and then runs over and starts biting her shoes. He looks at me and I have a cat toy in my hand and he starts playing with it. And basically the whole interaction was, what the hell, moms? Where have you been? I've been waiting here for you. Where have you been? And we're like, yep, this is the one. He's coming home. And just the way he went after, I think it was partially the way he went after Kit's shoes is why we called him Bandit. And now he tries to steal french fries and bacon and pieces of chicken and cheeseburgers and whatever he can get his little hands on. So that is the story of Bandit.
Entirely appropriate name.
Yeah, he's such a little sweetie. We love him so much. Oh, hey, Pepper. Pepper, you want to come be on stream? No, don't run away. Come back.
I mean, Pepper, if you come on stream, we might get more donations to voting you as best cat.
Stop yelling. So this is Pepper. Let me bring her a little closer. So this is Pepper. Say hi, stream.
Hello, Pepper.
Yeah, she's a little agitated right now because she knows it's about the time where I give her medicine every night. Poor thing.
Oh.
She's got some. Also, I would like to take a moment to bless science and technology because Pepper has some thyroid issues, and normally you would have to take a syringe-like thing and shove it into her mouth and get the medicine down her throat. No. They have this stuff now. It's a little cream, and you just rub it on the inside of her ear. Takes 5 seconds. It's beautiful, it's wonderful, it's not stressful. It's great. Thank you, modern science. And with that, I'm gonna go run and put this over there so I have room over here to load up more cookies. So I'll be right back. Keep talking.
Absolutely. Well, we certainly do have donations coming in. Let's start with this one from Direct Shriner, who sent in $2.02 to bring our total ever closer to $1,000 earlier. They said no order, only chaos. And woo, chat, you are in fact giving me chaos. I'm so proud of you. And that went to voting Ziggy as the best cat. Einstein100 came back in to help us get even closer to the $1,000 by meeting that exactly by also voting for Ziggy, because every cat deserves love indeed. Oh my gosh, I would have told you I was a dog person before this stream, but having seen Bandit, having seen Pepper, I think I'm being swayed to the side of cats, chat.
I'll try to get Ziggy on stream. I don't promise anything.
Oh my goodness, you are spoiling me, Paxi. And speaking of chaos, we have a donation of $8.09 from the one and only Eggman. That's right, Eggman, your lovely helper sitting in the back. I don't know how they came to make that donation. He came to make that donation, but thank you so much, Eggman. And Eggman, if I can't do your voice justice, please forgive me. But that's right, it's me. I have come to make you all angry at me for not getting us to 1K! Ha ha ha! Get a load of this! Wait, I'm too late on the donation? No way! I can't believe this! No!
I want
Congrats
everybody
on
to put
1K,
clapping,
everyone!
Everybody
I
put
take
clapping
credit
emojis
for
in the
this.
chat because that's amazing. That was the best Eggman voice I've heard today. Everybody clapping emojis in chat. Thank you.
Thank you, Maxie. I want to say Eggman is also voting for Ziggy as best cat.
Aww.
So I think that's even more reason that hopefully we can get Ziggy on stream.
We'll try. He is actually as shy as they thought Bandit was. So.
Oh, well, Ziggy does not have to be on stream if Ziggy doesn't want to. Ziggy is still the best cat. Chat declared it.
Aw, congrats, Ziggy.
Well, unless chat would like to snipe that in, like, the remaining time we have left on the showcase, you certainly can.
How much time do we have left? Have I managed to stall for an hour until the next run?
Well, you are just under an hour according to the timer on screen, but I think chat would love to see how the Oreo cookies come out. So I'm going to declare this, irrespective of tech and staff, your staff, I'm not, that we're going to wait until we see those cookies.
Okay, here's the thing. I am staff, but I am not an overlord. That would be Amber. So Amber has to say it's okay, we wait another about 10 minutes until the Oreo cookies come out. Not me, Amber.
Well, good news. Our wonderful overlord, Amber, has indeed chimed in. They say you can finish this batch of cookies.
Woo! All hail Amber Cyprin!
All hail Amber Cyprin!
All right, what else can we talk about, guys? I'm running out of stories. Give me some prompts. Don't make me start talking about my favorite romance novel series, because I will do it.
I mean, I would love to ask you about that if that's something that you would love to talk about.
I would love to, but maybe this isn't the right place to do it, but I will DM you after this.
Completely understandable. So, I'd actually like to ask about the cookies.
Okay.
And so you said the Paxi was going to be pumpkin spice, pumpkin pudding mix, and cinnamon flavored chips. Also, it just came to mind, I want to shout out Fast-Paced Events staff member Pumpkin Spice, who you also just saw on that previous archipelago, because you said there was a cat named Pumpkin Spice not having the best day, and Pumpkin Spice did in fact chime in chat to say they're doing much better today.
Oh, good. That poor cat was just so stressed. Like, I was in a room waiting for them to bring cats to me, and I could hear this poor cat screaming down the hall. Just not having a good day at all, the poor thing.
Oh.
But hopefully, I hope that they had a better day after I left and they found a good home. All right, but anyway, back to your question.
Well, actually, before I say my question about the cookie, chat has chimed in. Aizu100 wants to know what your favorite non-cookie to bake is. And you know what? That's a good question. Is it cupcakes like your name, or?
I do love baking cupcakes, yes. Here's the whole story behind the cupcakes thing. When Kit and I first talked about moving in with each other, she really likes skulls. I really like cupcakes. And we joked that our entire apartment was going to be nothing but skulls and cupcakes. And that became our Twitch name. So, twitch.tv/skulls and cupcakes when we remember to go live. But
I feel like Kit has it a little easier than you on the decoration, because you have to bake the cupcakes, and Kit just needs sugar skull mixing bowls.
There's more skulls in our apartment. There's an entire skeleton in the corner over there. His name is Vincent. He's our perfect and beautiful son. I'm going to need another... I'm actually going to need another cookie sheet, because we have just enough that won't fit on this one here. So, ooh, I can't see the timer from here because as you can see, I'm wearing glasses and can't see very well. One
Paxi,
second.
Don't worry about the timer. We're told that you can finish the batch of cookies because the multi-world finished early.
Woo! Okay, we still got about 7 minutes until the stuff that is in the oven gets done. I don't have any more cookies to bake, so
we're just gonna hang and chat. And while we're hanging and chatting, chat. That's right, I made that a segue. Chat, we are trying to hit a stretch goal of $1,500 raised for GATE. You've all been fantastic today. We've raised over $1,000 thanks to your generous donations for this absolutely important cause. This cause that's near and dear to the hearts of staff here at FPE, to me as well, because GATE does such wonderful work. And so, thank you all so much. But can we make it $1,500? Can we?
I mean, maybe. I think chat could do it. But back to the non-cookie things I like to bake. I do like baking cupcakes, but I also love to make pie. I make Nova can testify to this, I think she liked it. I make a really good crumb top apple pie. I will say the last one I made was a little sweet because we had issues with one of the Granny Smith apples that I use. But my fiance doesn't like apple pie unless it's mine. So, there you go.
I mean, that's how you know you have a good fiance.
Well, yeah, but also I'm glad that I'm just happy I made something that she likes. I'm always happy when I make something she likes, so. And her dad, my future father-in-law, also likes my apple pie, so that's always a plus. What other questions you got, chat? Yay, Nova says it was great.
See, now I'm a little jealous. Now I've seen you eating that cheesecake cookie. I just talked about not liking sweets, but I would kind of like a cookie as a treat.
I mean, you do have the recipe, and you know that it takes cheesecake pudding and M&M's, so you could make your own.
This is true, and again, chat, that recipe is pinned at the top of chat. If you would like to maybe join me in baking this cookie sometime in the future, because we do still have more wonderful runs coming up today at Fast Pace for Friendspace. And so, I can't go bake any cookies after this. That's a shame. Scott, can I change my schedule a little? But we will have the recipe to bake if we'd like. And speaking of more fantastic runs, again, Golf with Your Friends is our finale. We're gonna have friends. That's right, whoever's around in staff from FPE for this event today is gonna go show up, and they're gonna golf. But you get to affect the shape of the ball they're doing. Now, Egg is in the lead right now. It's sitting at $81. It's well ahead of the pack of Hockey Puck and Acorn, which are sitting at $25 respectively. And I guess we are an egg-loving chat because Eggman, we're doing cookies which have eggs in them. I see where you're going with this. But I'm told that this incentive is going to remain open for the entirety of that game.
Ooh.
And that means at any point, we can change from egg to whatever other shape you would like, as long as there's more money put towards that shape than egg. So if you want an icosphere, what is an icosphere, chat? I want to know, but I'm not going to find out unless we reach that donation, unless that thing shoots into the lead. Or a Christmas bauble, because, we can skip right over Halloween. I'm sure there's someone out there who is very unhappy about me saying that. But that's why you don't donate for the Christmas bauble, you donate for the Acorn for Thanksgiving, which is when you bake these cookies, right, Cassie?
You can bake them at any time, but it's easiest around Thanksgiving and Halloween because that's when the pudding's actually available. Real quick, we do have a question in chat that I'm seeing. Amber Seifert asks, are there any other good recipes in that book you've got that's falling apart? This is the book in question, as you can see. Yeah, let me see here. The reason I know how old it is because of this right here. Y'all are about to see my dead name, so I would have still been going by that. And the JC is from when I used to work in radio, way back when I was like 15 years old, and JC was my radio name for a long time, so that's how I know how old this book is. But to answer your question, are there any other good recipes? I have no idea. I have literally only ever made the chocolate chip cookie recipe because it's perfect. It's so good and it's so versatile. But
that's really how you know a recipe is good. You keep going back to it.
Yeah, I do love this book. My grandfather on my father's side got this for me for Christmas one year, so I'm happy to still have it because he's not here anymore. But all right, any other questions? That's a great answer. I'm glad you liked that answer because it's the only one I've got.
Trying to see if maybe chat has some more wonderful questions that I may have missed out on earlier when we were just all enjoying cat stories, which, to be fair, I was really enjoying the cat story.
Nova says we should pick something out at random from there the next time we hang out. Don't you threaten me with a good time. How dare you? Pepper is looking at me like, why are you over there instead of in the living room in your chair cuddling with me? Well, Pepper, I'm on the internet right now. Yes, Blinky to you too. It'll be a little bit. Alright, it looks like there's less than a minute left on the Oreo cookies. Give me 1 second, and I will at least bring the tray out so y'all can see them.
Alright, chat. You donated for this. Oreo cookies with peanut butter, mini peanut butter M&Ms. And again, that was a fantastic snipe. I closed the poll and went back to for very fresh and did a double take. I had to do it quietly because I wanted Paxi to be surprised. So thank you again all so much for your generous donations to Gate. And Gate, again, is the wonderful cause that we are raising money for. Working towards justice and equality for trans, gender diverse, and intersex communities. Oh, look at those cookies.
Now this actually circles back to something we were talking about earlier. As you can see, hopefully you can see it. If I touch the top of this, it's a little bit bushy still.
They are a little poofy still, yes.
Yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put these on top of my stove and let them rest for a few minutes, and then they'll be perfect.
So these cookies are the Flame, because Final Flame was a staff member who suggested this flavor, Paxi. And I would just like to let you know that in chat, there is a suggestion. Next event, you submit a run of making every recipe in that book.
There's 1,001 cookie recipes in that book. That is not going to happen. I'm saying no right now. However, if I ever have a bigger kitchen that would accommodate it, I would be willing to make all of the cookies that are on this list in one run. Preferably during the holidays, because then I can just wrap them up and give them to people.
I mean, that
think that's
sounds
it.
like a showcase in the works.
Maybe, but I think we're done now, everybody, because I've shown you the cookies. I've shown you how to bake them. You guys got access to the link. Any last minute questions before we call it?
I mean, I've got a question for you, Paxi, and they are... Well, let's start with the one about the cookies. What are you going to do with the rest of the cookie ingredients?
I'll bake them at some point. That's the nice thing about these, like, this box of pudding expires as soon as I find it. November 2025. So this is good until next November. So I can easily
I'm
just...
seeing chatter in chat that suggests you might be able to do it for the next fast pace for Headspace, since those usually happen in December.
It depends on when you have it, because I got craft marts. I got a big craft mart in December where I'm selling a bunch of my crocheted plushies and stuff. So as long as it's not that weekend, maybe. But
All
yeah,
right, chat, well, we can keep our fingers crossed.
Yeah, all of these ingredients are just going to go into the baking cupboard I have in my kitchen, and they'll just sit there until I decide to bake them.
And you mentioned it earlier, Paxi, but thank you so much for this fantastic baking showcase. Once again, where can we find you if people want to find more of you?
If you want to find more of me, my Twitch channel with my lovely fiance is twitch.tv/SkulldandCupcakes. You can find me on Instagram as AKAtheCupcakes. If you're interested in my crocheting, you can find that at Cryptids, Cuties, and Chaos.
Oh, those are all wonderful names.
Right?
I
Aren't they great? I'm so glad you all had fun with this, because I'm tired now. I'm probably going to make myself a whipped coffee and kick back and do nothing until I have to go to work tomorrow.
That sounds like a solid plan. So once again, thank you so much for baking cookies, for telling us and showing us your cats, and of course for talking with me and having me here on this showcase with you. It was so much fun.
It was great having you too, and I hope we get to do this again. I'm sorry I couldn't get Ziggy on stream, but if I can get a picture of him, I'll throw it up into the Fast Pace Events Discord.
Ooh, I would love to see that, chat. And of course, chat, if you want to see that, you know where to find it. Now would be a great time for you all to get some snacks if you're hungry, or maybe a quick hydration break, because we'll be right back with our next run. See you soon.